Anything different? We got a bookshelf. Mind you, 2 bookshelves, but they're in my room and I don't film in my room. So now we have one in the living room. Welcome back to my channel. I feel like I ain't said my intro in a minute. So I'm late, but better late than never. So this is my May reading wrap up. Y'all know May was a very busy month for me, but somehow we was able to read either 12 or 13 books this month. I'll put the correct number up somewhere. So, and I have physicals. We're knocking out the physicals on our list. So boom, right? Let's start strong. And for today's beverage, we are drinking a Alani Nu Blue Slush. I'm not really a fan of this one. Not a fan. Cherry Slush 8 down. Blue, a little too syrupy for my liking. So, starting off. So I have been trying, I want to try to give more of a background before I tell y'all about what I rated the book and my thoughts and stuff. So I'm going to, bear with me. I have notes. I like to write down my reviews. And so first things first, we have All Boys Aren't Blue. This is a memoir by George M. Johnston. So this is actually my first memoir ever, right? I love this so much. Mind you, this is a beautiful cover. This is also the #2 most banned book in America. And when you read the book, when you see the book, you think that it's banned because it's a black man talking about being queer. Wrong answer, forehead. This is banned not only because this is a black man queer talk. It talks about racial profiling. He talks about being SA'd. It was so many things that happened to this man in this book. And mind you, through it all, he had his nana. And I just hope and pray everybody has a nana. This was a beautiful story. Mind you, I don't know this man from a can of paint. When I tell you I was invested, I read this book in a day and I listened to it. I listened to the audio and it wasn't the best audio, but he did a really good job of narration. I'm sorry, y'all. I was trying to get my thing to charge. 1 second before my camera dies. There we go. So, as I was saying, really good narration. Oh, this is one of those books where it's like, y'all not ready to talk about what's going on with being black, being queer, being a man. People just aren't ready for this conversation. And I really enjoyed this. I feel like little boys should read this. Queer people can read this. A woman can read this. A straight person can read this. This was just a really good overall memoir, and it was a really good introduction to memoirs for me. But no, what did I give this? I gave this 5 stars. Very good. Whew. Then I also went into Ethic 6. I'm finally done with Ethic Land. Baby, I'll never go back. There's no amount of money you can ever pay me. If you know how Ethic is, the Land series, honestly, it might be an unpopular opinion, I feel like Ethic 6 was kind of meh. I feel like something was missing. Not too sure what, but I gave it 4.75 because mind you, it is a 5-star series. Don't get it twisted. This is definitely a 5-star series, but I did give book 6 in itself a 4.75. Then after reading all of that, baby, I needed me a good old-fashioned MM manga, baby. It's been a minute. No, BL manga. I'm sorry. It's called a BL manga. So this is 10 things I want to do before 40. So you have this man right here. He's turning 40. And this man finds his list. He makes a list of things that he wants to do before he turns 40. And this man right here ends up finding the list. And once he sees the list, he's like, oh, I'm going to help you do everything on this list. Including one of the things on his list is getting laid. So yes, this was fun. It was cute. It was fluffy. I've read better ones. It wasn't the worst one. It wasn't the best one either. I gave it a 3.75. Then y'all, I read Real by Miss Kennedy Ryan. Oh my goodness. Oh my. So I was really, oh my God, I hate the way my hair is going right now. I'm so sorry. I'm not a fan of the way my hair is falling. So I was really excited to read Real by Kennedy Ryan. If you are a part of the Kennedy Ryan hype, Real is easily one of her most popular #1 rated books. No one that I've ever met has said that this book was below 5 stars. So I was super excited to read it, right? So this book follows Nevaeh. I'm sorry, Neva Saint. She is a Broadway actress. She's an up-and-coming Broadway actress, and she ends up meeting Cannon Holt. Cannon Holt is a director, so you can already see where that's going. Excuse me, you can already where the forbidden love kind of comes in it, because you're an actress and you're the director. You know what I'm saying? Y'all ain't really supposed to be mingling. You feel me? But this follows their journey. Super beautiful, and just like any Kennedy Ryan book, this holds a very adult, mature theme. This is a contemporary romance. 5 stars easily. If you don't know already, I gave this book 5 stars. I highly recommend immersive reading this book. If you can't immersive read this book, then I highly recommend the audio alone. This is easily one of the best audiobooks I've ever listened to. It was, oh my God, no notes. This was a beautiful book. Then I finally finished the Asylum series by Steph Macca. The last book is Exile. Oh my goodness. I was so sad saying bye to my favorite unhinged trio. To have 3 unhinged, insane, maniacal men willing to do anything for you, including offing themselves and each other. I envy that life. I really do. That was 4.25 stars. I had an amazing time. I also immersive read that book. Also one of an amazing audio. You got Corvin King. Dang, what's that other guy's name? Joe Arden. Y'all know Joe Arden. Joe Arden. He eats up every audiobook I've ever heard. If I see his name, immediately give me that audio. But yeah, I gave that 4.25. Then I read me a little spicy novella. This ain't even the right book. One sec. So then I read me a little spicy novella. This is Beneath His Stetson by C.M. Campbell. And when I say little, baby, I mean 59 pages. This is a 59-page book. So good. Stopped me from going into a slump, because during this time, I don't know if I was just anxious because of BRBF. May was hard reading month for me. I know hard reading month and you read 12 books, but it was hard for me to read those. It was. Believe me. Anyway, this follows Bailyn. Bailyn's had a rough day at work. She goes into a bar and she ends up meeting Cadero. And baby, did I know what a Stetson was before this book? Absolutely not. Am I gonna make my man get a Stetson? Absolutely, because baby, I need to have that. I need to have a Stetson on while this grown folks talks. I'm sorry, y'all. Oh, I gave that 4 stars. baby, at one point, Bailyn said, I need a break. Cadero said, well, let me break you in. I know that's right. Get this up. Oh my God, y'all. Then I read, this was such a good book. It's How to Kill Your Neighbors by J.R. Mason. And this is How to Kill Your Neighbors by J.R. Mason. And this is labeled as like a dark comedy thriller. Never seen those 3 words together, ever. Immediately, let me get that. Let me see what's going on. So this follows, what's her name? This follows Raya. Raya is an author. She's trying to finish her book. And she can't finish her book because she has this nosy ass neighbor named Linda who just keeps terrorizing the whole entire neighborhood. It was funny. I remember it actually was a good thriller. My mouth was dropping. At one point, I said, somebody need to get this. Somebody needs to get Linda. Linda is her name. Somebody need to get Linda. Linda was, when I tell y'all, Linda was terrorizing them folks. It was so funny. She was pissing me off. At one point, I said, somebody need to get this heifer. Somebody need to get her, because she pissing me off. The good book. I gave that 4 stars. I don't know if I said that. I gave that book 4 stars. Then I read Our Vicious Oaths by N.E. Davenport. I know I'm kind of dibbling dabbling in my romanticy bag. And that was a 5-star book. Vicious Oaths was amazing. So this literally had everything I needed. It had spice, it had plot. It was a true enemies to lovers. Because y'all know, y'all be saying enemies to lovers and it'd be like 5 minutes worth of hate. No, they hated each other up until like damn near the last chapter. This was a great book. What does this follow? So this follows Khadijah. Khadijah is being forced to be married off to somebody who she doesn't want to be married off to. She doesn't want to live that type of life. She doesn't want to just be somebody's pretty little toy on the shelf. But how hierarchies work, so she has to do it. And the person that she's marrying is a really bad person. And he cut off an entire thing of people at one point. So basically another arch nemesis, 13th Ward type of vibe. They not messing with Khadijah's side of the family or the people that she's marrying. So they come and they crash the wedding and they end up kidnapping Khadijah. And so then Khadijah was like, well, you know what? I don't want to be his wife, no way. And they end up like, joining forces to try to take down the man who Khadijah is supposed to be marrying. It's really good. I don't think I explained it as good as I could, but it was really good. 5 stars. Then I also got to read Score by Kennedy Ryan. So this is book 2. So first you read Real and then you read Score. Oh my God. So Score follows Verity and Monk. So Verity and Monk are briefly mentioned in Real, but Verity and Monk is more of a enemies to lovers, second chance romance. Well, actually, it's more lovers to enemies to lovers again, second chance romance. They dated in college and something happened that just made them never want to be with each other ever again. And because of what goes on in Real, they end up having to work together on set. So that's how you get them, and they end up running into each other again. And when they run into each other again, they're more grown and they're adults, and they have to be able to forgive what happened when they were teens and in college and work through those traumas as adults. Really, really good. Like I said, with any Kennedy Ryan book, it's going to touch on very adult sensitive topics. So this does follow a character that has BPD. So if that's a triggering topic, then you might want to be more aware. But this was also a 5-star read. And again, I always will recommend the audio for these 2 books. Then, baby, I got into my second memoir bag. Miss Lamonia Davis. I feel like I'm saying her name wrong. She told me how to say her name. But so good. Again, don't know this lady from a can of paint. I don't know this lady from a can of paint. When I tell y'all, this was such a good read. It read like a fiction book. The stuff that kept happening to this girl, I was like, I know you got to be lying to me. Baby, she had no shame with telling us her business. And that's my type of memoir. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I don't know if they said something more about me. But, baby, Big Mama had a time. And when you look at it, when you read synopsis, it kind of gave, oh, this is going to be boring. This is a Christian woman. How much of a life can she really live? Baby, she's still living it. I've never read a memoir where at the end, I was like, I kind of update on your life. And that's exactly how this was. So this literally follows her from a young kid, high school, college, around. She meets her husband and their trials and tribulations. And I remember reading some parts of the book, and it was just like, dang, I can really relate to that. At one point, basically, her mom was like, you know what I'm saying? Like, don't get pregnant. Who gonna watch that baby? And that's exactly how my mama treated me. Now, mind you, I don't got no kids. I don't know if my mama, parents say that all the time, and I always hear that they change their mind once you have the kid. I'm not taking that risk. She took that risk, and you'll have to read the book to see how taking that risk worked out for her. But this was a really good read, 4 stars. And it was quick. Like, it was an easy read. And it was a lot of part, I forgot to mention, it was a lot of part of these books where I was pissed. How do you tell somebody, I don't like your family? And that's the thing, that's why I say it read like a fiction book, because as I'm reading it, I'm like, I ain't messing with the family. I don't mess with this. And it's like, baby, these are real people. Like, shut up. I felt wrong for having the thoughts that I had about the people in her life, because these are real people. This is a really good book. So then I also read A Love So Good. I'm finishing up the Chamber Brothers series by Renee. So this is book 2. Well, it's a continuation from book 1, of course. I can't really say too much based off synopsis, but it was a really good book. It was still funny, good plot. My problem with that book, y'all, those grammatical errors were killing me. Do you hear me? Those grammatical errors was crazy. Mind you, I don't remember complaining about grammatical errors in book 1. I don't know what was going on with book 2, but it's going to stop me from reading book 3? Absolutely not. I will be reading book 3 this month. So, I gave it a 2.75. But I did enjoy it. I promise I did. Them grammatical errors were just crazy. It was crazy. And then I finished it off. I finished the month off with a horror. Oh, my goodness. First off, Free Will. Let's talk about Free Will is really something serious, because sometimes you forget. I don't have to wait till October to read a spooky book. I can read it now. And it wasn't a spooky book. It was a horror thriller type of vibe. I read Our Dead Girlfriend by John Athan. This is my second John Athan book. I think that man needs to be, I think we need to look at him. I think the police might want to go find him, because he might be admitting to things that he's done. But I think John Athan needs to be investigated. I think that he is telling us things that he's done in real life, and we should be worried. But anyway, this follows 4 boys who stumble across a dead body, and then it gets worse. That's all I have to say. Our Dead Girlfriend. When I tell y'all, I have recommended this book to like 5 people, and every single person has came back and told me this was a 5-star read. It's genuinely, what the fuck am I reading? What the fuck is going on? Some of this stuff was so descriptive. That's why I say John Athan needs to be studied. We need to find him, and he might have to get arrested, because there's no way you're just thinking about this off the dome. Y'all, this was a Lifetime movie, and I couldn't look away. I believe I finished it in a day. It was 5 stars. So it was a Lifetime movie on steroids, y'all. My mouth kept dropping. Every time I thought I knew what was going to happen, I was shown what I don't get paid to think. This is why I call myself a dummy reader, because every time I think I know some shit, I get proven wrong. Oh my goodness, great book. I gave that book 5 stars. So before I end the video, I just want to go over how many 5 stars I had this month. I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They gotta mean something. It's the 5th month of the year and I read 5-star books. That has to be good luck. Oh, that makes me like, when I look back on it, it's like, dang, I read 5. Do y'all know how hard it is to come by a 5-star book? I'm a tough rater. I know some people be like, oh, like, why do you care about rating things so tough? I don't know. I don't have no answer for that. I just am a tough rater. I don't just give out 5 stars easy. I'm not no easy bitch. I'm sorry. But I gave those books 5 stars without even thinking about it, baby. And that's another thing for me. I don't think hard when it comes to my ratings. I give myself 24 hours to think about how I feel about the book. And then whatever I think immediately is the first thing. Whatever I think immediately is the exact number that I give it. So immediately I gave all those books 5 stars. So that right there tells you how amazing they are. But anyway, that was all the books we read this month. Have you read any of these books? Do you plan on reading any of these books? And as always, let me know in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I've never told y'all to do that, but I'm going to have to start telling y'all to do that. And until next time, bye.